and here is the latest news.
Hello, my name is Trisha Takanawa, and I know everyone is interested in learning about Jesus. Today we have Matthew with us, who happens to be one of Jesus' very good friends, and he has agreed to share key information about his past. Come on in, Matthew. Thank you for being with us today. First off, we'd like to know how Jesus was crucified.
Well, the crucifixion of Jesus and his death is an event that happened during the first century. Jesus, who most Christians regard as the Son of God, as well as the Messiah, was arrested, tried, and sentenced by Pontius Pilate to be tortured and finally executed on a cross. According to Mark's Gospel, he endured the torment of crucifixion for almost 6 hours.
He must have been a really strong man if he could endure the torture for 6 hours. So, according to Jesus, how is salvation attained?
Well, in religion, salvation is the concept that as part of divine providence, God saves people both from, 1, biological death by providing them an afterlife, and 2, from spiritual death by providing divine law and judgment. Most Christians simply accept the teachings of their own denomination. This may be dangerous, with so many conflicting beliefs about salvation among Christian faith groups today. The chances are very high that a Christian's own denomination is wrong about salvation. Unfortunately, if a person believes in the reality of hell, the stakes are very high. It is of paramount importance to be confident in one's salvation. Some Christians believe that they can assess God's will through prayer. However, a small-scale pilot study that we conducted indicates that prayer is a very unreliable method of determining God's will. One way to work out their salvation for Christians is to go back to the basics.
Thank you, Matthew. So, could you please explain 2 of Jesus' many parables to us?
Yes. The first one I will explain is the parable of the Good Samaritan. There was a man going down from Jerusalem to Jericho. He came upon some robbers who beat him, leaving him to die. Then a Good Samaritan came along and helped the man get back to his regular health. The second parable I'll talk about is the prodigal son, and that is a man who has 2 sons. The younger son wants a portion of the estate. After he gets it, he goes off on a journey to a distant land and begins to spend his fortune on wild living. The son goes home and the father welcomes him back. The other son is not happy at all, and he gets very jealous of his brother.
Thank you for explaining that. Thank you for explaining the parables. And so, why was it so hard for people to believe that Jesus was the Son of God?
Well, Jesus was a big influence on history. He has a figurehead of Christian religion. The teachings and practices of us have convinced many people to believe in and follow him. So from that, many people believe that he is the Son of God.
So, why did the Romans consider the teachings of Jesus to be a threat to them?
Well, the Romans feared it because they thought Jesus' teachings would influence the people to revolt against Jesus, or Jesus would take over.
Thank you, Matthew. So, do you have any questions for us?
No.
Okay. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.